Hello, everyone. Today we have here Barbara, the head of operations in PES. And my very first obvious question is, can you describe to us what does the operations team actually do on daily basis?
Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to be here and to introduce the part of the business that deals with the day-to-day operations things. So basically, our business mostly consists of two main parts. One part is a sales team and the team that deals with all the contracts, all the contractual obligations. And as you've heard from Alex, Alex is the one who is heading this department. And I'm heading the department of post-contract service delivery. So everything that Alex and his team promises, we try to deliver. And we do deliver. We deliver. In regards of day-to-day things, what we deal with, the day-to-day queries the most is invoice validation. So we've got systems. We've got a team of people as well as software that helps us validate every single invoice that is issued from a supplier. It always comes to us first. We check all the 40 elements that are within this invoice. And then if it's validated, if it's correct, we pass it to the client for payment. And if it's incorrect, we ask supplier to reissue it into a correct one. Based on this, because we collect all these invoices, we are able to collect all the data for our clients. And this lets us help them with a lot of different reports. So based on that, we are able to basically create several different reports.
So why is it important to actually check the invoice with a software? What I hear from people when I cold call is, our accountant is very precise and detail oriented and she's on top of her game. So people are actually just checking their invoices manually. So can you explain to us why is it important to use an actual software to check that invoice?
So as you said, when people have accountants who check these invoices for them, they usually check the financial side. So they will probably take meter reading. They will check the meter reading and then they will check the cost. If it matches, brilliant. Or if it's there or thereabouts, they are happy with. If they get any kind of unknown cost, they probably call a supplier. There is actually 40 different elements within every invoice. And it is statistically proven that 1 in 5 invoices is incorrect that were issued from the supplier. And that's not just, it can be a mistake based on their software. So we wouldn't be able to spot it either if we didn't have software because it's their software issue. There might be a lot of calculation that is going on in the background. So literally, just taking a meter reading is not the meter reading that is on your invoice, because you can have correctors, you can have other calorific values and other factors that make that overall cost. Then there can be other hidden costs, so-called hidden costs, which might be either an uplift because you've got an incorrect payment method and you don't even know what you should be having, or you've got a different type of meter. You might find efficiencies within it, which you wouldn't otherwise find if you didn't have it checked via the software. And then on top, we don't have just software. We also have people who are literally checking whether the direct debits that left the bank are the same as the invoice. And I know that accountants tend to do it, but very often they are unable to reconcile if supplier issues 5 invoices, 5 credits and 5 rebills. It very often doesn't match. So this is what we do. And especially for multi-site clients, which we have a lot, we got about 150 multi-site clients, which mean multi-site clients in more than 10 meters. We've got a lot of retailers that will have 600 stores. They are not able physically to check every single invoice one by one. If you've got maybe one shop, yeah, that's a bit different. But if you've got multi-sites, definitely you're not able to do it on your own, not even in spreadsheets.
Oh yeah. So how much money do we actually save our clients? Like, do you know some number, like maybe in a year or?
So we've got basically 2 main portals for our clients. So one portal is where they can log in and they see all their invoices, all the validated invoices, all the credits, all the rebills. They can download them anytime. And the other portal is our queries portal. So all the clients, when they've got any issues, they either send us an email or send an email to the portal, and we've got it logged there. And we've got also so-called credits log there, which basically shows how much money we save. It's hard to substantiate. It's very hard to say how much money we do save. To be completely honest, on the multi-sites, on the retailers, it's about 2 to 3 times our cost. So that's what we are trying to basically show the client, that it's genuinely worth having a consultant, because you can save so much money by having a consultant and not to having it. So, and we know that we basically try to even price it away, because we know if someone's got a spend of 6 million a year, that we are able to save them about $1 million. That's how it is. But it's not every year. It's not with every supplier. Our main focus is to find efficiencies. So we will put the client with a supplier that will not be making mistakes. That's the main point. But of course, even that supplier that is not going to make mistakes will do something within that period that will need to be checked. And also they will, because even if you move sites, they give a lot of closures and a lot of openings of the site. You know, people move in, have a new shop open, they close the shop. That means that all those on all those new sites, we can find efficiencies really easily, as well as on the closed ones. Very often we find out, but this is not it. So invoice validation is very important, but what we do is also all the management reports. So because we collect all the data from cost, consumption, all the different carbon data, we are able to run budgets. We are able to run. We've got a lot of clients that we were running all the other efficiency reports, but we were able to tell them, if you just move your production half an hour different, you'll save this and this amount of money. If you have big matches, because we've got a lot of stadiums, if you've got this big match on this and this day in this weather, it will cost you this much. But if you've got it in like 2 degrees less, it will cost you this much. So this is how we are saving money. So it's really hard to say how much money we are able to save, from 3 times our cost to 10. That's how I would put it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it's all about being more efficient when it comes to energy, and
yeah, that's all the net zero agenda that now is going on. It's like very prominent. So yeah, definitely we are doing net zero for a lot of clients, a complete net zero package. But also we are doing just like, energy efficiency, which we started doing ages ago, before net zero was even a thing. We were just doing it purely from like a money saving thing, because the less you use, the less you pay. Naturally, the more efficiencies you find, the less you pay. So whether it's capacity reductions or changing of meter profile, moving these so-called operating hours within the business, that was a big help. We do a lot of exceptions reporting, which is basically a report that will show you exactly half an hour at night, let's say, when you are using energy and you shouldn't be. We found out, especially retailers, they have a lot of issues with their HVAC, where the HVAC just turns on in the middle of the night, and it was spending them thousands of pounds. Or we had one retailer that you know, when you shut the blinds, the lights went on and no one knew about it until we spotted it. Like there is like, so that was about £5,000 a year just literally on light that they could have had, that they should have been off. So things like this, it's a very interesting part of energy management. I really like it.
And what are some other queries that you deal with on everyday basis? So it's invoice validation, and what else do people?
So the main thing of operations, we've got people dedicated to different. We've got also the different dedicated account managers if you've got bigger clients. But invoice validation is a big part. So from invoices, you can see, all the incorrect billing, all the credits, rebills. So that's one part, but it's not the biggest one. The other one is the net zero, which are different reports. So it's a reporting package. So we are able to do cost consumption, but we do budget reports, so people are able to accrue, or even if like suppliers not billing, they're able to tell them, well, you should be paying this much, so you can accrue money and there are no shocks. Then we do metering. Metering is a big part which we do all the meter installations, meter removals, all the metering management, in a sense that if you've got the incorrect profile or capacity reductions, that's what we do, or capacity increases if it's necessary, because otherwise you pay fines. Then we do all the portfolio management, which is a very important part, especially for multi-sites that are changing quickly, which is portfolio management is those are the changes of tenancy in and out. So very often, even now, yesterday, we got again a client that will get an invoice from 2013. And they are just like, well, we haven't been there since 2010, so why should we be paying for 2013? So we go literally this back, like we are able to go like 11 years back and trying to find out why is it still billing? Why was it billing that time? The client wasn't there, who was there? So we do all these changes. Which
It's
can be
quite a detective work.
Yeah, it is. So it requires a lot of time on the phone, a lot of patience, because you have to basically join a lot of dots and try to figure out things. There are people that really love it and are really good at it, and then there are people that just can't stand it. But yeah, for us, I think for me, and I've got the main one who deals with queries is Natila and Chris. Chris would be good at talking about all these things because he's now on the phone a lot. Yeah, that it requires a lot of patience.
Yeah, be good with people and patient with their requests, I guess. Now, what is the best
and
part?
I'm not talking about clients. Clients are fine. It's not about clients. It's more about suppliers, because everyone who were dealing with suppliers in the past, they know that if you call, and I'm not going to name any suppliers, but if you call the biggest ones, especially, you're on a phone, you're on a hold for 2 hours. Every client can associate with this, and that's why they are very grateful for our work. Right. For 2 hours on a phone with a supplier, you won't get anywhere. They will not do anything. They will overpromise, underdeliver. Nothing will happen. And in 6 weeks, you chase them again. And in the meantime, they are issuing more invoices. You have to pay them. Otherwise, it affects your credit if you don't pay them. So you have to be paying invoices even if they are incorrect. And this is what we are basically trying to. So we take this all away from the client. So the client don't have to even know the supplier that they have. They know that they've got a supplier, but we do with all these queries on behalf of them. So when they submit it with us, we are then on the phone, emailing.
Yeah. Now, why do you think the clients are so proud to say, or at least that's what I do experience, we have our supplier, we are very proud of the relationship we've got there. Why is there so much pride in, like, I'm trying to understand.
I understand it from a point of it. People are scared of change, especially in a sense that in a UK energy market, when you want to change a supplier, it's actually very easy. You just sign a contract and you move. But the transfer, if you've got more than few meters, might be quite tricky because there can be a lot of so-called objections. So the supplier that is current can object on the transfer for several reasons. And we have to, basically, we are the middleman who is trying to avoid all these reasons. And we tell them, no, this is supposed to leave to the supplier on this date. And people, if they are not on top of it, and if you are an accountant, or if you work in the facilities, you have so many other things to think about, not just about, oh yeah, on the 1st of April, my contract starts with that supplier, so I have to check with them, and I have to check with the old supplier whether everything's correct and whether all my sides moved. And what about that side that I'm not sure, because the meter is not ours actually, and we are still paying for it, so should it transfer or not? And all these things is basically what we are doing. So people, if they say that they are, I think it's just the fear of change. That's why they say that they've got good relations with the supplier. Also, very often, and this is a bit of like an honest thing. Very often, people, if they've been working with that one supplier for a very long time, if let's say there is a consultant coming and saying, no, that supplier is actually not as good, I think it's also a bit of like reflection on there. I think it's hard for us
to
very
admit.
often to admit that we might have had issues. So yeah, I think there is several reasons, but I genuinely think, and I've got it even at home with my own energy, I change suppliers every year. Because no supplier is ever, I don't know, I'm not saying that that's the best way. We've got clients that really like a supplier for a very long time, and they are a good supplier, and of course you should keep it. Of course, we are trying to keep clients for as long as we can. But in regards of even in regards of suppliers, it changes. 1 year that supplier will be good. In 2 years' time, something happens structurally, and the other supplier is good, and we can see how our biggest clients always like migrate like this. We've got few really good ones that will always keep their client base, but yeah, very often it's better if you've got, this is it. So if you've got a consultant and you are dealing basically with that consultant, it doesn't matter what supplier you have, because you are still dealing with that one point of contact, which is the consultant. So you can change suppliers much easier, I think.
Yes,
and
exactly.
We see, people that have got consultants, they are much less scared of change. It's the ones that have got direct agreement with the supplier. They will want to be there because they are worried that if they change, then it will not be just right, and how I'm going to change back, and what am I going to do, and who is my contact there, and how do they deal? I don't understand that invoice, I understand this invoice. So that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now, if you were to say what's the best part of your job, what would you say it is?
The best part? I personally, what I like is I like meeting clients. That's mine. So every bigger client of ours, they within our SLA, we meet them 4 times a year. So we meet them 4 times a year, and it's our so-called quarterly reviews, where we basically go through the whole account within that quarter, what we did, and where we were successful, what we are working on at the moment, what queries we resolved for them, how many closures, openings we did, and all these, how much money we saved them. So of course it's the final thing. So of course I like that most, because you can just like say, oh yeah, actually within this quarter we managed to do this. So yeah, that's what I like the most, to be honest. I like meeting clients, because it allows us also traveling. Now it's a bit different, because now it's through Zoom, but I like that personal contact when we go and actually see clients and understand what they need, because that's how you understand the most. So they tell you what they are happy with, what they think need to be improved, because of course that's not just what they are happy with. And yeah, that's I think my most favorite part of my job.
Good, that's cool. I think now you guys go back to the offline meetings. Is that happening now?
Yes, yeah, we have started. So we had few meetings already since that, whenever it was opened for April 12th of April. Yeah, so we had few meetings. There are still some clients that have got like a lot of protocols, especially if you've got like a big organization. They will have a lot of forms to fill out, or even like they've got a lot of like these COVID protocols still going on. But not all of them. There are some that want to meet, and some that are literally just like we're waiting for us to reopen and meet them. So we will come. We go after every quarter. So now, because it's end of June, we'll be basically going in July and meeting all our clients and suppliers as well. Interestingly, we are meeting suppliers again, and they wanted to meet live. We are beginning this month.
That's interesting and exciting that the things are going back to the actual things. It's so much better for business and the spirit, I guess, as well.
Yeah, we can see even people work better, not just when you meet them, but even like within the offices, they can bounce back ideas better. It's so much better when people actually go to the office than when they work from home. I like working from home, don't get me wrong, but not after a year and a half of working from home. No. I would go back.
Yeah, it's exactly about that, about meeting people and actually brainstorming in real life. It's so much different than via Zoom. Okay, is there anything else you would like to pinpoint at the very end about operations, something that you would love the clients to know about the operations team?
What I would like clients to know? I think we are a good team. We've got, of course, like we've got different personalities, we've got the different types of people, but everyone's got its strengths in another aspect. or one aspect or another, and that's why everyone's focused on something else. I don't really know what else. Like I think we got, so I started within TES in 2014, and since then, of course, we changed ownership, all these things. Like I went from like bottom and I went all the way up to the top, and since then we've changed people. And I have to say, let's knock on wood, that so far, like this team that we have now is one of the best ones. Like it is the best one so far that we had, I have to say. Yeah, not just because they still work there, but because it's true, because that's how it is.
Because the results are there.
Yeah, we are taking a new member on next week, which will be even more exciting because we got even more work. We've got, we grew so much during the pandemic that we technically were over capacity. So now, yeah, we will have a new member, and it will be cool. It will be good.
Yeah, that's all very exciting. Well, good luck to everything in your department.
Thank you.
And now I go back to cold calling to get you guys some work.
Yes, please.
Okay, I see you later. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Veronica. Bye-bye.